Music keeps me all night long. Okay guys, just want to put a bar on things before we wrap this video up, so let's jump into a weight like we usually do. So this week my weight's been around 82.9 to 83.2 kilograms, and whilst it's fluctuated, as you can see, slightly throughout the week, it's generally because some days I'm eating a little bit more carbs and some days I'm eating a little bit less, so I'm taking in a little bit more water on some days and a little bit less on others, because I'm not yet sticking to a strict or set amount of carbohydrates yet. Moving on from there, my calories have been around 2,900 to 3,000 calories. I'll put the actual number on the screen here, but there seems to be about the right amount of calories to maintain my weight with only slight fluctuations based on water. Moving on from there, my macros have been around 135 grams of protein, 290 grams of carbs, and 125 grams of fats. I'll put the actual breakdown on the screen either here or here, but this seems to be a good amount of carbs and fats for me to get in. However, the protein is not meeting that minimum standard of that standard I set during the bulk of 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. And now that I've switched into the maintenance period, I probably should still carry that on, but I've decided to go for that minimum standard of 1.8 grams per kilogram. And because this number's below it, I need to start working on that, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Moving on from there, my water intake's been 2 to 4 liters per day. And on rest days, it's generally close to that 2 liters per day level, which is because I'm finding it a little bit harder to get water in, whereas on days I'm training, I'm easily getting in my 3 to 4 liters per day. So I just need to work on bringing it up on rest days. Moving on from there, we'll go on to talking about the food choices and the implications on my protein. So basically, I need to start getting better at choosing healthier options of protein, or my meats, or generally in terms of my foods as a whole, because I want to be able to meet that standard of 1.8 grams per kilogram of body weight in terms of protein. So I need to pick meats that are a little bit leaner and so have a little bit less fat and carbs. So not picking processed stuff sometimes, because sometimes I have, instead picking lower fat options and picking high protein ones, cooking them and preparing my food a little bit more. So it's just been a little bit smarter with my food choices now that I'm in that maintenance period, because I haven't got as much room to fit other stuff in or pick bad food choices. Whereas when I was bulking, I had a lot more room to be able to fit it in. So it's just been a little bit smarter with my food choices. And in terms of being in this maintenance period, or being in maintenance for this short period, I am starting to find that I'm feeling less lethargic, more energetic, and find it easier to socialize, because when I was in that last month or two of bulking, I became a lot more food focused, because I was basically having to force feed food so that I could actually meet my calorie need or calorie intake or requirements to keep bulking. And building off of that, I'm excited to be eating more fruits and vegetables now, because like I said, when I was trying to meet that calorie intake to keep bulking, I had to reduce the amount of fruits and vegetables I had so I could pick more calorie filled foods so I'd actually reach that target. And one thing I have noticed since eating back at that maintenance is I no longer feel bloated as much. I don't get bloated as often if I do. And so when I went to deadlift on Monday, my belt didn't actually fit properly, because I was basically deadlifting and it felt loose. So I had to tighten it up by taking it down a hole, so making it tighter, one hole. And then when I came to squat on Thursday, it was perfect, it was the right thing. So basically, because I'm not as bloated, things have sort of reshaped in size. So now I can sort of fit into my larger old clothes again. Obviously I'm going to look better in them when I'm leaner, and they'll look better on me when I'm leaner, but I am actually starting to be able to fit into my older clothes that were larger, which is something I'm quite happy about. And moving on from that, I've had a couple thoughts throughout this week, because I've been sort of going over things, sort of fixing the mindset I think a little bit for when I go into start cutting on January 1st of 2020. And one thing I've been noticing, or thinking back, or listening out, or hearing more, so basically reviewing what's been happening what's been said in the past and hearing more of it now, because I'm actually noticing it, is people seem to want to bet against me more now. And for me, that's great because it gives me more fuel to my fire, and it'll be even better when I get to push through their expectations, because generally they're quite a bit lower than where mine are. Obviously, I like to set really high goals, so I have like really high expectations for myself, because at least then if I fall below it, I still hit a very good level, and it's generally higher than the expectations of what other people seem to set for me. So for me, it's a good thing. For other people, it's probably not the best thing, because they're going to end up looking like an idiot when I prove them wrong. But that is what it is. And then moving on from there, later on in the week, I sort of thought over things and sort of have realized that some people think I am willing, or should be willing, to allow them to come in, out, and in and out of my life without consequences. So because I have boundaries that I've set for what I expect of people, especially if they say they want to be close or they want to be my friend, generally I set my boundary at a level where my friends of value can meet it, and then people underneath that generally won't. So the associates, the fake friends, or the fun time friends, are the ones that are just around for a good time, generally fall below that, and then get a little bit annoyed that I don't treat them the exact same as the people who are my friends of value and will meet that level. Because for them, as long as they meet that level, which they easily do usually, obviously we get caught up and we get busy, or we have problems ourselves, and then that will sort of drop. But because they're friends of value, I know when they're sort of doing that and when they're not. But they generally get the best treatment and the good treatment, because I know whatever I give them, they're going to return to me as. So if I treat them well, they'll treat me well. If I need their back, they'll have mine. And if they need me to back them, I'll back them, and I'll always be supporting. Whereas with the other people that can't meet that standard, will see that and maybe get annoyed. But for me, if I don't set boundaries for where I will allow myself to be treated, so there's a level I'll expect if we're going to be friends, and I mean friends of value, not of convenience, or associates, acquaintances, fake friends and stuff like that. There's always going to be a level, and if you fall below that, then I'll behave accordingly to how you're behaving. And that's why I say, for anyone who doesn't have any boundaries or any level of expectation they have for how their people should treat them, would be to build some, so then you actually find out who are your friends of value, who are your friends of convenience, fake friends, and so on and so on. Because generally friends of value will meet that standard you set, because I'm not saying set a standard that's so high that no one can meet it. I'm saying set a standard where your friends of value can meet it, because they should. If they can meet that, they'll consistently meet it anyways. And then people who fall underneath that will see what your level is and expectation, and you can then act accordingly to how they treat you. Because some people won't like the fact that you have a boundary, and will then treat you badly, so then you can either return the treatment or just be civil and leave them to do what they're doing and focus on what you need to. But if you don't have a level, they'll treat you how they feel they can treat you or use you. So that's what I'm saying, to have a minimum boundary or level, so then you don't get used or mistreated when you should be treated better. Anyways guys, if you've enjoyed this video, can I get you to leave me a like by hitting that thumbs up button, sharing this with your friends and family if you think it'll either give them some information or tips they can use, or it'll be entertaining and interesting to watch. Subscribe if you're not already, so you never miss another video, as long as you ring that notification bell. And most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.